Okay, just put the camera on me and I'll start. Good morning. We begin our time together in song. Let's join our voices together to connect in voice and spirit to welcome this new day. We will play a recording of the congregation singing Gather the Spirit by Jim Scott at a previous service as we display the lyrics on the screen so everyone at home can sing along. Your microphones are all muted so you can pretend you're singing in the shower. Let us sing together now. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Gwinnett. My name is Jan Taddeo. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. It is my great pleasure and a privilege to serve our faith as a minister of this congregation. I'm so glad that you all have joined us this morning. Thank you for being here on this lovely spring morning, a little gray, but still warm. We arrive from many places and many life experiences as we gather to recall our true selves, reflect on the meaning of our lives, and explore questions of ultimacy together. If you are here for the first time or the 1,000th time, you are welcome here. If you believe in many gods, a god or goddess, no gods, or you're just not sure, you are welcome here. If you are gay, straight, bisexual, asexual, pansexual, transgender, cisgender, or still trying to figure it out, you are welcome here. If you come here seeking community and connections, you are welcome here. If you are holding fear, joy, depression, hope, or a multitude of emotions, you are welcome here. Your whole self, all that you were, all that you are, all that you long to be, is welcome here. And you are just where you should be, in a virtual room full of compassionate, thoughtful Unitarian Universalists ready to meet you where you are. You are home. If you are a guest this morning, we welcome you and hope you will indeed find your spiritual home here with us. We are becoming a radically welcoming sanctuary in a green space. We foster spiritual growth as we joyfully nurture connections within our walls and beyond. We walk towards this vision with curiosity, courage, and compassion. If you are a newcomer this morning, I encourage you to join us several times and to join us when we are gathered again in person to experience the full flavor of this congregation and this faith tradition. Come and be curious, courageous, and compassionate with us. Sound. Please take a deep breath. Let us bring every molecule of our being into this precious time we have set aside to be together, to explore our core values, to see one another's faces as best we can. As sound vibrates through us and around us, let us be reminded how deeply and profoundly and inextricably we are connected with one another, with all beings, all life, with all the cosmos. Hopefully you have all received the news that Gwinnett County has issued a shelter-in-place order. Our staff and board of trustees want to encourage everyone to honor this order as our civic and loving duty to support all efforts to slow down the spread of this coronavirus in our community. Today's service will be a little different than the last two we live streamed, and next week different still. I'm here at the building with my beloved spouse, Russ, and next week we will both be at home. All the participants in today's service are participating from the safety and sanctuary of their own home, just like everyone else who is joining us today. So I invite you to bring patience and grace and a really healthy sense of humor as we explore navigating this new way of using our technology. As physical distancing increases, please take good care to connect in whatever ways you can. Connect with nature, notice the beauty around you. Use technology, old and new, telephone and video, to reach out to people. Have real conversations. Connect with people you forgot to reach out to during the hustle and bustle of normal life. Also want to remind you to call our pastoral care team if you need to hear a friendly voice. Share what is on your heart with someone who will not judge your feelings, won't try to fix anything, will just listen deeply and hear whatever is on your heart and mind. I'm also aware that already some of us are being touched in various ways by this virus. Some know people who have the virus, some know people who have died from this virus. And so again, I invite you to call our pastoral care team or call me if you are encountering the virus in some way in your own home, your family, your beloveds. Let us know what's happening with you.
And now we begin this service with these important words from Reverend Teresa I. Soto, written especially for this day of transgender visibility in this service about the wisdom of our bodies. Dear trans, non-binary, genderqueer, and gender-expansive friends and kin, and those of us whose gender is survival. Let me explain. No, there's too much. Let me sum up. You are not hard to love and respect. Your existence is a blessing. Your pronouns are not a burden or a trial. They are part of your name, just shorter. Someone getting them wrong is not a poor reflection on you. It is not your fault. Your body, really and truly, belongs to you, no one else. The stories of your body, the names of your body's parts, your body's privacy, the sum of your body's glory. It is not okay for anyone to press their story of you back to the beginning of your or our liberation. We will find the people ready to be on the freedom for the people way. We will go on. No one can rename you. Other, it can't stick, as you offer the gift of being and saying who you are. Mostly, though, your stories belong to you. Your joy and complexity are beautiful, however you may choose to tell it or not tell it. Some folks, cis, may take their liberty for an unholy license. You are beloved. Please keep to our shared tasks of healing, getting free.
And now we light our chalice. And I invite you to join me at home. If you have a chalice at home, light your chalice. And our chalice lighting words will be the first stanza of the poem, I Thank You, God, for Most This Amazing by E.E. Cummings. I have taught this body prayer before, and some of you will know it. I invite you to stand or to sit and join me at home as I teach this. We'll do it through a couple of times with the words, and then we'll do it silently together. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. And now silently. Thank you. Now for a wonder box. I wonder what's in the wonder box. There's nothing in the wonder box. I had a book I was going to put in there, but I think I loaned it to someone. So I don't have that book, but I do have a poster I made for myself with images from the book. And the book is called Mindful Movements, 10 Exercises for Well-Being by Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk and teacher. Thich Nhat Hanh is considered one of the most influential teachers of Buddhism and a leading spokesperson and advocate for peace, human rights, and social justice. Mindful movement combined with mindful breathing offers a way to connect your mind and body. And these movements provide a way to touch the sky, to smile at your own body, and to touch your heart. When we do these movements, we do them slowly. This is not an aerobic exercise or morning calisthenics. It's a practice in paying attention to your breath and to your body. This morning, we're going to learn and practice the first 5 of the 10 mindful movement exercises. I will demonstrate each one and invite you to do the exercise with me. And if you do this as a regular practice, you would do each series of movements 4 times. You may want to stand for this, though you can do it sitting, and you'll want to have a little space between the person next to you. To begin, we just prepare our bodies for this exercise. So we stand with our feet firmly on the ground, shoulder width apart. Your knees are soft, slightly bent, not locked. Stand upright and relaxed. Your shoulders are loose. Imagine an invisible thread pulling your head up to the heavens. And imagine your body sinking to the earth. So you feel extra long, connected to earth and sky. Tuck your chin in slightly to relieve pressure on your neck. So we're going to practice conscious breathing first. Body is centered, back is straight. Allow your breath to come down deep into your belly. And then let it out slowly, aware of each in-breath and out-breath. Just do this, smile and enjoy for just a moment. Breathing in and out. In and out. And now we do our first mindful movement. Breathing in, keep your elbows straight as you lift your arms in front of you until they're shoulder level, horizontal to the ground. Breathing out, bring your arms down again to your sides. Let's do that together. In, out, very slowly. Now we'll do our second mindful exercise. With your arms at your sides, breathing in, you lift your arms in front of you in one continuous movement, all the way up, stretching above your head, touch the sky. And breathing out, bring your arms slowly down. Breathing in, arms up. Don't hurt your shoulders, only go as high as you can. Safely do. And bring down with the out breath. And now we move to number 3. This one you might want to stand sideways to practice it if you're standing close to people, because you're going to lift your arms out to the side. When you breathe in, you'll lift your arms up to the side, palms up until your arms are shoulder level. And breathing out, touch your shoulders with your fingertips, keeping your arms horizontal. And then breathing in, open your arms again. Breathing out, touch the shoulders. Do that with me, please. In, out. You're like a flower opening up. The flower closes. And now you lower your arms back to the ground. Well, to your sides. Next is making large circles with your arms. So again, just do the range of motion that your body can do. You make a large circle with your arms, so make sure you have space. So breathing in, we bring our arms straight down in front of us, into the center, between our hips, palms together. Raise your arms up, breathing in. Separate your hands and breathing out to continue the circle and bring your fingers to the back. Breathing in, lift your arms back. Breathing out, bring your hands to the front. So breathing in, up. Breathing out, back. Breathing in, up. Breathing out, back. One more time. In our last movement, put your hands on your waist. Keep your legs straight but not locked. Head centered over your body. Breathing in, bend forward at the waist and begin to make a circle with your upper body. When you're halfway through the circle, you'll lean back and breathe out to complete the circle. I'll demonstrate. So breathing in, forward, and then out. Join me. And then we go the other direction. And keep exchanging from one side to the other. One more. Thank you. We've finished the first 5 of the 10 mindful movements. I invite you to stand firmly, breathe in and breathe out. And you might try these exercises, any one of them that maybe felt good to you, as a way of centering and grounding during this time of uncertainty and change. This will get you connected to your breath and your body and to this moment. So you can set aside the fears of the future and the worries and regrets of the past and be present to what is now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Daniel. I hope everybody is feeling well or taking care of yourself if you're not feeling well. Around the 13th century in Europe, the body began to be contrasted with the soul, maybe because of certain religious beliefs or other reasons. This was very different from earlier understandings that the body and soul or spirit are a unity. Like the story where God breathes onto the clay and the human becomes a living soul. In some languages, including ancient Latin, Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic, and in some indigenous languages, the same word is used for both body and soul and spirit. It basically means the life force. More modern terms used for this kind of unity are things like body-mind or heart-mind or soul-body, and there are others. There may be parts of our body-minds that can't be seen or measured and may account for mystical or animistic or any kind of other experiences with other types of being, or what many of us call spirit. Whatever we make of those experiences, every body is a part of the interdependent web of existence and has intrinsic worth and dignity. We are like a tree taking in and then releasing the life force of our atmosphere in a miraculous living cycle. When I looked up the definition of wisdom on the Wiktionary, it gave me several definitions. I'm going to use a couple of them that fit our practice that we'll be doing in a few minutes. The first is the discretionary use of knowledge for the greatest good, and that's my favorite. The next is the ability to make a decision based on the combination of knowledge, experience, and intuition. Now, taking these definitions, how do we gather this kind of wisdom from our bodies? And it is by paying attention to the voices in our body. We might already hear the most loud shouting of excitement, elation, other stimulation, or hyperactivity, or obsession, or injury, pain, depression, and anxiety. But beneath those voices, there are more subtle voices within us that speak in modulated tones and in whispers. We can listen to those voices, to that language that is sensation, feeling, movement, unacknowledged emotions, or the ahas and inner senses that we really have no name for. We can listen to the music of our bodies and their poetry without words. As we listen to these voices, we may then hear in our minds a word or words that aren't the usual narration or arguments that we frequently have in our minds, but are clarifying or meaningfully poignant, creating a sense of rightness with a relaxing in our bodies. We may also see visuals of colors, lines, shapes, symbols, or other images that create that same kind of aha feeling. When we listen and respond to our body's messages, we gain inner knowledge that can give us the discretion to make choices that better serve ourselves and others, and that connect us consciously to other beings, that can connect us to those who we are in personal relationship with already, and in finding friends that are good for us and adequate support systems. We find it can increase our empathy, our energy, and our motivation for taking action to relieve the suffering of all beings, including those now suffering from COVID-19 as well as other illnesses. Listen to our body's voice. Listening to our body's voice can allow us to be filled with loving kindness with ourselves and others. We start with ourselves. We start with the inspiration of the life force, the spirit or breath from all the trees and other plants, from the breath that we share with all biological creatures, from the inhaling and exhaling of our parent planet. Reverend Jan has already talked about belly breathing. So we will be using our bellies in this. We're going to breathe through our noses. This is not a particularly deep breath. It's just an easy but full breath. There's no strain or anything like that. So while we're breathing in, obviously through our noses and into our bellies, let's imagine that we're going to breathe up through our feet first of all. So let's exhale and imagine taking the breath up through our feet and up our legs and our pelvis, up through our body to the top. And then exhale, softening our chest and our hearts and our bellies and pelvis down through our legs and out the bottom of our feet. Inhaling through the feet, up the legs, up the pelvis, the back, all the way up to the top of our heads. Exhaling, softening our chest, belly, and pelvis, all the way down through our legs again. And one more, up through our feet and legs, through our bodies, up to the top, and exhaling, particularly noticing the feelings in our heart and belly, and down again through the legs and the ground. So you can do that. You don't need to use the arm movements unless you want to. Just get comfortable and find your own pace at doing that. And you don't need to worry about messing up. It'll go as it should. And on each inhale and exhale, let us notice and sense each part of our body. As we're going up and down, just notice how all those parts feel. We may feel familiar or unusual sensations. There may be like fluttering or vibrating or tingling. There may be tiny movements. We may feel relaxation or tightness. We may feel pleasure or pain, numbness or dis-ease. We may feel the organs inside our bodies, our muscles, bones, or feel our skin. And whatever we're feeling is what is right for us in this moment. We can explore all these feelings with curiosity, courage, and compassion. As we exhale and feel the breath moving through our hearts, so just stay in the cycle wherever we are, but when you get to your chest and heart, just feel it softening and become very aware of the tenderness and vulnerability, the softness, the love, and compassion. Just take a few moments to feel that. Each time we exhale. And each time let us direct these tender and compassionate sensations to everything we're experiencing now, regardless of whether it's easy or hard, whether it's pleasurable or painful, sad or glad. Just noticing all those things. A few moments. Sending that love and concern and caring, not to make anything go away, just to send that compassion to it. And this is where we might get those poignant words, those ahas, or meaningful images. We may receive messages about what feels good in our bodies, or what hurts and needs attention, or about the need to be compassionate and kind with ourselves. A lot of times we just not really doing that. Maybe we are being informed that we need to move more, or sing more, or dance, or take a walk, or swim, or to seek psychotherapy, or just take in the physical beauty of the spring. Maybe we hear that we need to reach out to others, and whether that's virtual or, and if it's safe, physical. And right now, we can hug ourselves. So let's do that. Just give yourself a hug, however you want. There's different ways to do it, but you want to feel the kind of wrapped around and a pleasant pressure in your body. And you can keep doing that as long as you want. We may get many of the same benefits, we do get many of the same benefits from hugging ourselves as we get from hugging others. And then maybe we can hug our pets, or if we're with somebody that's safe to touch, or we might want to hug a special thing. This is one of my special things. Hug. It's like Marie Kondo does. And later on, we may want to go out and hug a tree or so. Maybe we can feel embraced by the air or by the water when we wash our hands or shower or in water. Or we can feel the warmth of the sun on our faces or the land supporting us. All of the interdependent web of being literally breathes with us. I think, everything is respirating. That's alive. And let's feel this by remaining consciously connected to the entire circle of love through this service and all the other ways that we may have of doing that. We have now used our breath to delve into the wisdom of our body, mind, spirit. And with that understanding, let us sing hymn number 86, Blessed Spirit of My Life.
Here we strive to create a model of beloved community. We do this in part through the care and support of one another. We each arrive here holding joys and sorrows, triumphs and disappointments. We set aside time in this communal space to honor that which we carry on our hearts, to celebrate together and to grieve together. If you would like your joy or sorrow shared aloud in the service, please share it in the chat space on Zoom. And our student minister, Noelle Lehman, will read them aloud as I light our candles of compassion to light your joy or sorrow into the collective consciousness. I invite us now to enter into a time of silent reflection as you type your joys and sorrows into the chat. And together we create a container of compassionate presence to hold our joys and our sorrows.
Barbara shares Brian grief cancer. Brian,
Into this container, we offer that which is most on our hearts to share with this beloved and supportive community.
Brian says, I am joyful today. My babies are 1 and had a great pediatrician checkup. Barbara says, Brian, grief, cancer. Sharon, Thomas.
Can you slow down, Noelle?
Sure.
Thank you. I want to light each candle. Thank you.
Thomas says, for the doctors and nurses putting their lives at risk every day. Rowan says, I am scared of the coronavirus. Veronica shares, my sorrow is that I had to physically distance myself from my partner. We don't live together, but are very much in life. Jezza says, I'm joyful for my new roommate, Jack. Dimitri shares, my 15-year-old dog passed away yesterday. LaDonna shares, my friend Felicia Sanders died of coronavirus yesterday. Paula says, please pray for my mom, Jean, isolated in a nursing home. Bill says, joy, my children's health. Lee shares, Julie Marchesa, cancer. Manoshi shares, please pray and appreciate our doctors and nurses. Robert notes, for my colleague Donica, who's recovering from a stroke. Michelle asks, pray for my safe journey to Michigan and back, home safely to Georgia without being exposed to illness. Toby says, I'm afraid for my sister-in-law Sheila, who was on a world cruise that gets back in April. Diane shares, my sister has 3 broken vertebrae and is in extreme pain, but is afraid to have the surgery because of the virus. Bill shares a concern, my son's spouse has lung issues, but no COVID-19 test. Manoshi shares, some are even being evicted by their landlords because they're exposed to patients and not having enough personal protection equipment. Terry shares the concern, our daughter-in-law on the health care front line in New Jersey. These are all which have been shared in the chat.
We light one more candle for those joys and those sorrows, the fears, for all that we hold. in the sanctuary of our heart. May we be filled with loving kindness for one another and for all life. May we hold one another gently as we move through this time. Let us respond with hymn number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness, a traditional Buddhist meditation with music by Ian Riddell and lyrics arranged by Mark Hayes. Our congregation is committed to creating a more compassionate world. To this end, each quarter we split our plate collection with an organization selected by our Giveaway the Plate committee. This quarter, our contributions benefit Mosaic, Georgia, a sexual assault and children's advocacy center located in Duluth. Their mission is to enhance safety, health, and justice for all victims of sexualized violence. Founded in 1986, Mosaic, Georgia provides crisis intervention and advocacy, legal services, forensic medical care, education, training, and forensic interviews. Our plate contributions also support the shared ministry of this congregation. So I ask that you please give generously to support the work of this important ministry in our wider community, as well as the vision and mission of our congregation. This is our last collection for this quarter for this recipient, so please give extra generously today. As Lorena offers this lovely arrangement of Dona, Nobis, Pacem, you will see on the screen several ways to contribute to our offering via PayPal, Venmo, or by mailing a check payable to UUCG to the address shown. If you are worshiping with us for the first time, your presence here today is a great gift and generous presence for this community, and you may choose to let the plate pass as you wish. The offering will now be most gratefully received. gifts received today move us towards realizing our vision of a more connected and compassionate world. I want to offer gratitude to our coordinator of family ministries, Christiana McQuain, and volunteer Russ Taddeo for managing the Zoom room, camera and sound, and gratitude for all who participated in creating yet another version of a live stream service. Daniel and Cherie Bailey, Noelle Lehman, Jezza Hain, and Lorena Griffin, thank you. Now is the time for our call to connection. I can't, trying to click, it won't let me. Time for our call to connection, for it is important that we continue to connect between Sundays. First, I offer you a way to be of service. As you've probably heard, hospitals have a shortage of masks. Last week, a group formed which is mobilizing home sewers to create homemade cloth masks. These masks do not replace N95 masks. They extend their lifetimes, so they can be used longer before they must be discarded. The cloth masks are washed and reused. So far, the group has delivered about 1,500 masks to area hospitals. Another 6,000 have been requested, and just last night we got a request from another hospital that wants 4,000. So if you would like to sew masks, visit the Facebook group, Sewing Masks for Area Hospitals. There you will find patterns and instructions. UUCG is serving as one of the numerous drop-off locations. There is a plastic bucket with a lid outside our front door here at the building. As long as supplies last, there will also be hand sanitizer to use before touching the bucket. You may leave your completed masks there, and they will be distributed to those who can use them. If you have questions, contact Lorena Griffin or Peggy Avery. Thank you for your help with this project. There are several opportunities to connect this week. During this time of physical distancing, I have set up a weekly space for people to gather for casual check-in and chat every Wednesday morning from 10 to noon. Drop in and chat when and for as long as you are able. I'll be there with you. We also have an open conversation space on Saturdays from 12 to 3 for anyone to hang out. It is not staffed, not structured. Just come and be together. Create your own structure around that. We also have family, faith, and fun kits. During this time of connecting in the distance, we offer these for households with young children who want to continue their religious exploration at home until we are together again. Text family to the number on the screen, and staff will contact you to arrange delivery or pickup of the bags. And we'll do our very best to make sure they're sterile and safe for you to receive. Also for families, we have an open gathering space on Zoom every Thursday from 11 to 1 for our young people and their parents to connect. Check our calendar at uucg.org and our weekly e-news to see more ways to connect, such as our Dungeons and Dragons online, Women's Spirituality Group, Spiral Scouts, Belief Exploration, Book Club, and much more. If you're ready for more coffee, cocoa, or chocolate and need some equal exchange products, text equal to that same number. It's on your screen to get what you need, and we'll get it to you. And if you're ordering online, like so many are these days, make sure UUCG, it's actually Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Gwinnett in the Amazon system, that is designated as your Amazon Smiles recipient. Remember that our pastoral care team is available on call 24/7 to offer their companioning when you need someone to connect with who will listen well. And now join me as we say the words we say to extinguish our chalice, and then we will sing together our closing song, number 1051, We Are. And then we'll have our closing words, and then you'll have some time to just hang out in the Zoom room with friends and chat. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. And now let us sing. In a moment.
Morning star rises and sings to the universe.
Beloveds, we are separated only by space. I hold each of you close in my heart until we are together again. Our service has ended, and now our service to one another and the wider community begins in whatever way we can. I love each and all of you so much. Please take good care, be well, keep in touch. See you next week in yet another version of our live stream service. And now we will open up the room. You can see one another, you can hear one another, and you can enjoy a little coffee hour time together. Blessed be. Be well.